Hey there, everybody. Welcome. This is CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to your home for tutorials, strategy, player profiles, history reviews, news, tips, tops, baseball cards, and plenty of rants. And you're joining a presentation of the 1969 Mets. We have our replay going here using Payoff Pitch. Great little system. Now, this is a May 10th game, and the Mets in the replay are 14 and 13. In actuality, the Mets were 13 and 15. Now, the Astros are doing much better than they were in actuality. They're 15 and 16, whereas in actuality, they were 10 and 22. So that's at the end of this game, obviously. The Mets won this game 3-1. Tom Seaver's on the mound facing Denny LeMaster. Tom Seaver was 25 and 7 with a 2.21 ERA. And Denny LeMaster was a 13 and 17 with a 3.16 ERA. We're ready to get started. It's going to be Joe Morgan leading off, second baseman. Then it's Norm Miller, followed by, he'll be the right fielder, batting second. Batting third is Jimmy Toy Cannon Wynn in center field. The cleanup batter is Kurt Blefari, and he is a lefty, and he plays first base. Then it's followed by Dennis Menke, the third baseman. The shortstop, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Doug Radar, the third baseman. Batting seventh is Jesus Alou, and Alou is playing left field. And the catcher is Jay Edwards. Then it's the pitcher. He is a pitcher hitting card 6. We're right about to start. Tom Seaver on the mound. Tom Seaver looks in for the sign. He sets and deals. Payoff pitch. When you play payoff pitches, you read the 2d6. You look for a category. That category pertains to category on the batter. So it's a triad sort of system, because then you have the Shea Stadium card. We are in beautiful downtown Flushing, Queens, Shea Stadium, about 25 minutes from Manhattan down 31st Street to the 59th Street Bridge. Here goes. Oh, that's a foul ball. And it's an 8. An 8 is a tough 11, and that's strike 3. One away, Morgan down on strikes. Next, wait a second. Did we get that in there? Hold on a second. I see what happened. There we go. All right, now it's Norm Miller. He's a lefty. That's a 9, patient. A patient 78. Patient 78, and that's a fly ball lifted center field. Shallow center for Agee, coming in under it, and he makes the catch. 2 down. I played about a 30-minute game this morning. I played a 2-1 game and a 1-0 game against the Reds. Mets lost both those games. That's a 9, a patient 67. And that's going to be ball 4 against Jimmy Wynn. Wow, his walks go up to 1 to 85. So he walked 134 times. Wow, that's crazy. So he did walk a lot. So that's ball 4 for Wynn is on with a walk. And he may steal as well, because he's a 23 stolen base guy. We're looking for, we don't get it. We're looking for a 4 or less for the lead. All right, so let's see. Let's get Wynn to first base. And now it's Kurt Blefari. That's a 9, patient 05, a patient 05, and that's ball 4, back-to-back walks. Runners on first and second now here in the top of the first inning against Seaver. That's a little frustrating. Mets need Seaver to come through big time. They lost 2 in a row. They're 14 and 13, a little bit better than they were in actuality. At this time in actuality, they were 13 and 15, but the Pittsburgh Pirates because we have the whole season being simulated by Replay Baseball computer game. The Pittsburgh Pirates are ahead. They're having a great start of the season. That's a 5, a tough out 70, and that's going to be a line drive caught by the second baseman, Weiss, and that retires the side. So it's going to be an L4, and it's going to be Tommy Agee leading it off. Tommy Agee in the replay is batting .277. He's got 6 home runs. And that's going to be a patient 77 against the lefty, so we're going to have to be aware of that. And that's a fly ball in the gap center. Both Miller and Wynn takes it. 1 down. So Tommy Agee gives it a ride, but Wynn makes the out, and Buddy Housen. It's a 7 in play, 37, and that ball is a ground ball, first base. Let's see if it's a 4. No, it's basically a 1-2 on that, 1-3 actually, and that's the first baseman takes it himself. So it's 3 unassisted, 2 down. Amos Otis. Amos Otis is batting third for the Mets. Let's go over their lineup real quick. I forgot to do that. Mets have Otis and then Cleon Jones batting fourth. Batting fifth is Ed Charles, the third baseman. Batting sixth is the right fielder Sabota. Batting seventh is Jerry Grody, the catcher. Second baseman Al Weiss, the 8th place batter, and then the pitcher. Amos Otis. Here's the pitch from Denny LeMaster. That's an 11. That's a wheelhouse 84. And that's ground ball, shortstop, and Menke throws him out, and that retires the side. Doug Radar in the replay is batting .227. He's got 1 home run. That's a 9 against Seaver. That's a patient 64, and ground ball second base. Easy hop for Weiss. Throws him out, 1 down. Next is Jesus Alou. Alou batted .245 with 1 home run against right-handed pitchers. Here's a pitch from Seaver. That's a 7 in play, 75. In play, 75, and it's a fly ball center field. Easy out for Tommy Agee. 2 outs now, and Johnny Edwards. Edwards, left-handed batter. Here's a pitch from Seaver. That's patient. Patient 37. That's going to be a ball that's pulled down the line into the right field corner. After it is Swoboda hustling around first, and the throw to second. He is safe with a double. 2-out double. Wow. Okay. Okay. There it is. 2-out double for Johnny Edwards. Edwards batted .248 with 6 home runs versus righties. And now it's the Johnny LeMaster 6-pitcher hitting card. That's an 8 tough, a tough 19. Strike 3, and that retires the side. Go to the bottom of the second. Ed Charles. Oh, it's supposed to be Jones, actually. Cleon Jones. So I guess it was 3 up, 3 down in that first inning. So it's Cleon Jones. And that's an 8. An 8 is patient, 54 against a lefty, 54. Patient, and that's line base hit to left for Cleon Jones. I mean, he's the Mets star offensive player. He's on at first. We'll try to get a lead. And we do not get that. So it's going to be Ed Charles next. Ed Charles on a 5. That's a tough 0-4, and that's strike 3. Strikeout for LeMaster. Ronnie Swoboda up next. Ronnie Swoboda has good power. Yeah, that's a 6. That's a tough 56. Tough 56. That's strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Johnny LeMaster. Or I'm sorry, Denny LeMaster. I don't know why I'm calling him Johnny LeMaster. Denny LeMaster. And let's get that. There we go. And now it's Jerry Grody. And that's a tough result, 46. A tough 46. And that's ground ball up the middle and through. And Jones is going to hustle to third base. Let's see the plus sign here. So first and third for the Mets, and it's Al Weiss. Al Weiss is in the replay batting .240, 25 at bats, 1 home run. Here's the pitch from Denny LeMaster. Denny LeMaster, 7 in play 77, and that's a fly ball center field. And Wynn comes in, makes the catch, and that retires the side. Joe Morgan leading it off. He's the top of the order for the Astros. Tom Seaver. That's a 7 in play 77. And it's a fly ball, center field. F8, 1 down. Norm Miller next. It's a 9, a patient 49. Patient 49, and that's a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Tommy Agee gets it in quickly. Norm Miller's on at first. He had 4 stolen bases. So he requires a 4. We're not going to get it. Jimmy Wynn. Jimmy Wynn, a 9, patient. A patient 64. And that's going to be ball 4. A second walk to Jimmy Wynn. Now, first and second. This is the second time that Seaver in 3 innings has had first and second. And it's Kurt Blefari. He had, against righties, he had 10 home runs, batted .277. Here's the pitch from Seaver. We need Seaver to roll some good numbers here because that's a 7. That's in play, but 81. This may turn out to be, nope, it's popped up to the right side, and it's Weiss. Weiss calling for it. So it's and he gets it. P4. Dennis Menke next. Awfully quiet. It sounds like a little bit like a cemetery in here. A little bit like a cemetery, so let's change that. Let's not get it too noisy, but we don't want it to be, just get a crowd into this. Dennis Menke, runners on first and second. Here's a pitch from Seaver. Again, a tough, not too bad, 98. And that's a fly ball, shallow left. Towards the line is Otis and makes the catch, and that retires the side. So we go to the bottom of the third. Tommy Agee. Actually, it's Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver is a 3 pitcher hitting card, and that's a 7 in play 15. Oh, this may work out for us. The 15 is a little flare that drops in front of the left fielder, Alou. So Tom Seaver's on with a single. Next is Tommy Agee. Oh, that's foul back. Souvenir for a lucky fan. It's a 6 tough 97. And 97 is going to be a fly ball to shallow left. Back goes the third baseman radar. In comes Alou, and Alou calls him off. F7. Buddy Harrelson, we're going to try a hit and run on this. That's a 6. A 6 is a tough. A 99 is going to be popped up. And that's on the right side. No, on the left side. Third baseman radar there. Puts it away. And now it's Amos Otis. Bottom of the third, no score. Tom Seaver versus Denny LeMaster. That's a 5. That's a tough 0-6. And that's strike 3, and that retires the side. Doug Radar on the top of the fourth. We're moving and grooving in this game. This is 9, patient 70. And that's going to be a ground ball second. Oh, that's line and caught by the second baseman. So we're going to look at an L4 on that. Let's see. We got it. L4. Jesus Alou next. It's a 5, a tough out. A tough out on a 64. And that's a ground ball second base. 4-3. 2 down. And it's Johnny Edwards. Johnny Edwards batted .248 with 6 home runs versus right-handed pitching. 11 wheelhouse. A wheelhouse 94. And that's a deep drive right field. And back goes Swoboda to the track and runs it down. Ron Swoboda got a good jump off the bat on that ball. Cleon Jones. Cleon Jones is batting .337 in 100 at bats. He's got 2 stolen bases, no home runs in 28 games. Here's the pitch from Denny LeMaster. 7. That's in play. 57. In play 57. And that's popped up right side. First baseman Blefari makes the catch. 1 down at Charles. Bottom of the fourth, no score. That's an A Patient 79. A Patient 79 is a ground ball hit hard at Menke. Menke has time, throws out Charles. 2 down, and it's Ron Swoboda. The pitch to Swoboda. It's a tough pitch. What can Swoboda do with it? Well, not very much. It's a weak ground ball. This time, Menke holds back for a second. Now charges. He's going to throw on the run. And, gets Swoboda by half a step. Nice play by Menke. And it's Lemaster, the pitcher. Lemaster is a 6-pitcher hitting card. We're looking on this side. That's a 5. That's a tough out. Strike 3. High heat gets Lemaster. Hold on 1 second. There we go. And it's Joe Morgan now. Joe Morgan batting .217, 7 home runs. And that's a 5. That's a tough out, 35. A tough out, 35 against a righty. And that's going to be a ground ball. Comebacker to Seaver. Seaver feels his position. Throws him out. 2 down. And it's Norm Miller. Norm Miller batted .284 with 3 home runs against right-handed pitching. That's defense. About time we got a defensive card. We're going to pull this. It's going to say range first base. We rolled the 71. Range 60. Range. Yeah, that's going to be a nice catch by the first baseman, Cleon Jones. That's an L3. Lined right at Jones, and that retires the side. Jerry Grody against Denny Lemaster, 5. That's a tough 52. And a tough 52. It's a ground ball third base. Radar up with it across the diamond and throws out Jerry Grody. Al Weiss, bottom of the 5th, no score. 6, tough, 76. Tough 76. Fly ball, center field. On the run is Wynn. Wynn runs it down. Nice play by Jimmy the Toy Cannon Wynn. Tom Seaver, pitcher hitting card. 3, 7, in play, 62. And that's going to be an easy out ground ball. Chop to Morgan. Morgan, with time, throws him out, and that retires the side. Jimmy Wynn leading it off, made a nice catch in center field. Top of the 6th, no score. And it's a 6. That's a tough out. Tough out 18, and that is a strikeout. High cheese by Tom. Terrific. 1 away. Kurt Blafari now, left-handed batter, and 8 is a tough 77. And that's flied out to center field. 2 down. Dennis Menke. Pitch to Menke, 10. Ballpark, 35. He's a righty. Goes up to 32. So we're looking at in play 27, and that's line base hit to left. And Amos Otis plays it on a hop. So Menke is on at first. He won't be running. But that's a 2-out single by Menke. He's on at first. And now it's Doug Radar. Radar had 9 home runs, batted .246. Here's the pitch. Snake eyes in play, 78. And that's a fly ball. And AG after it and runs it down, and that retires the side. So Mets defense is there today for Seaver. Now we need a little bit of offense, and that's really what's been giving us trouble. Hey, ID Gestures in the house. Welcome, and Al, Red Sox fan. Celebrities in the tabletop gaming community. Hey, it's Tommy Agee versus Denny Lemaster. We are in the bottom of the 6th. Houston, 0 runs, 3 hits, no errors. New York Mets, 0 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. And I was saying how the Mets have been really struggling to score runs. They lost. They had a 2-game set against the Cincinnati Reds, and they lost 1-0 the first game. The second game was 2-1. So they've lost 2 in a row. They're 1 game better than they were in actuality. And this is Tommy Agee. Agee is batting .265 with 6 home runs, so he's got power. Here's the pitch from the lefty, Denny Lemaster. That's 10. 10 is in play, 38 against a lefty, and that is popped up left side. Right there's Raider, 1 away. 1 out, and there we go. Bud Harrelson steps into the plate. Bud Harrelson He's batting 247 with 0 home runs, 77 at bats. That's a 5. That's a tough 65 against a lefty. Ground ball, chopped to the second baseman, Morgan. He better hurry, and gets Harrelson by half a step. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Amos Otis. Otis batting .089 in 45 at bats. Amos Otis. Here's the pitch to Amos Otis. He's due. That's the least that we can say about this. Patient 35, and that's line base hit for Amos Otis. Holy smokes. Alert the media. Amos Otis picked up a hit here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. And what type of base runner is he? He's got 1 stolen base, so he's not going to be running. All right. Cleon Jones. Now, this is the guy who bagged 333 in 100 at bats for the Mets. This is the Mets offensive player. So if there's anybody that can manage something here offensively, it's him. But again, we roll a tough 0-1, and that's strike 3, and that retires the side. Beautiful curveball. Gets Cleon Jones. And mostly in the 60s, late 60s, that's what they were throwing, curveballs. Doing a lot of curveballs, a lot of fastballs. They didn't have a lot of fancy pitches. Here and there they did, but mostly the standard fare was curveball, fastball. All right, it's Jesus Alou, Tom Seaver. Tom Terrific against Jesus Alou. I got the 1970 baseball card here. It says Tom's contract was signed to the Mets in a special drawing. Home, Manhattan Beach, California. 25 wins in 1969 for Tom Terrific. Here's the pitch to Alou. That's a 7. That's in play, 84. And that's a ground ball. Chop to Harrelson. Throws him out. 1 down. Johnny Edwards. It's a 0-0 ball game. Pitcher's duel. What else is new? Tough 63, and that's again, ground ball up the middle, and Harrelson gets there, spinorama, and throws him out. 2 down. Johnny LeMaster, 6 pitcher hitting card. A 10, that's ballpark. 28 against a lefty. 28, nope, it's going to be in play, so we're rolling in play, and that's a 66. In play on a 6, and that's chopped to second base. Weiss, and that retires the side. Using payoff pitch baseball, smooth, chartless baseball. Ed Charles. Ed Charles batting 116, 43 bats. That's a 7. That's in play 30. And an in play 30 versus a lefty. Nope, not going to do it. That's a comebacker to Denny LeMaster. 1 down. Ron Swoboda. That's a 3. That's a ballpark. A 32 against a righty. Oh, and it's wheelhouse. Wheelhouse against a lefty is 1-38. So Ron Swoboda, see what happens here. And Ron Swoboda, 60. Weak ground ball, second base. Morgan charges and throws out Swoboda. 4-3. Wow, I couldn't have rolled any higher. I guess I could have. Right. And that's 2 down, and now it's Jerry Grody. That's an 8 patient 95. That's popped up left field. Back goes Radar and Menke, and in comes Alou. Alou calls for it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. Joe Morgan leading it off against Tom Seaver. Top of the 8th. Let's keep it going. We're flying through this game. Ballpark 59. That's going to be in play 72. And that's a fly ball center field. And Agee makes the catch, 1 away. Norm Miller next. Norm Miller is batting 225 with 1 home run. That's an 11. Wheelhouse 96. Wheelhouse 96 against Seaver, and that's a deep fly ball right field. And Swoboda backs up and near the track and makes the catch. 2 out. Norm Miller gives it a ride, but did not carry. And it's Jimmy the Toy Cannon win with 26 home runs versus righties and a 278 average. So you don't want to hit wheelhouse here, but we do hit a ballpark, and it happens to end up in wheelhouse. So against a righty, it's a 1-87. That's a deep drive to left field, and oh my God! And back goes Otis to the track, to the wall, looks up, Gone! Houston up 1-0. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. And Tom Seaver serves up a gopher ball. Holy smokes. The Miracle Mets. All right, looks like they're gonna lose their 3rd in a row unless they can come up with some offense. So Jimmy Wynn gets a hold of a Tom Seaver fastball and sends it to LaGuardia Airport right across the bay here in Flushing, Queens, over the parking lot, over the expressway, and into LaGuardia Airport. So Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon, with 26 home runs, was the wrong guy to serve up that gopher ball. So it's Kurt Blefari. He's got 10 home runs and 277 average. 2 outs, top of the 8th, 1-0 Astros. Here's the pitch from Seaver. 8, that's a tough 80. And that's a fly ball, deep center field. Agee on the run in the gap and makes the catch. Tommy Agee. Go to bottom of the 8th. Denny LeMaster. Denny LeMaster had 11 complete games. So we're looking to see 2 complete games here. That's the beauty of playing these older seasons. Man, they fly. You fly through the games, but you get stuff that you wouldn't normally see. In modern games, this is like a no-hitter. Al Weiss steps into the box against Denny LeMaster. That's a 6-6. That's Patient. Patient 81 against a lefty, and that's popped up. Popped up to the shortstop. Menke makes the catch. That's 1 down. Now we got Tom Seaver. Now this is a situation here, and we're going to let Seaver bat. We're going to let Seaver bat, and that's a tough 32, and that's strike 3. Seaver down swinging, and now we got Tommy Agee. Oh, that's foul. That's foul back. Now Tommy Agee has good power. A 6 is tough, a tough 74, and that's lined base hit center field. So a 2-out single for Tommy Agee. He's on at first. Buddy Harrelson next with 2 out, 1 on. Buddy Harrelson. Tying run is on at first base. Here's the pitch to Harrelson. That's a patient 88. And that's going to be a ground ball shortstop. And that is Menke. Flips to Morgan. And that retires the side. So the Mets are going to be down to their last 3 outs here. Menke leading it off against Seaver. That's a 9. Patient 88. And that's a ground ball shortstop. And Menke and Housen better hurry and in time at first base. So that's a 6-3, 1 away. Doug Radar next. Snake Eyes in play, 91. And that's a fly ball left field. And Otis settles under it, makes the catch. And Alou now. Alou with a 6, tough out, 17 against a righty. And that's going to be line drive caught by the second baseman, Whites. And that retires the side. So the Mets are down to the last 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th. It's 1-0 Houston. LeMaster's going for a complete game. It's Houston, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors against New York. No runs, 5 hits, no errors. Amos Otis is leading it off. Amos Otis is batting 109. Here's the pitch to Otis. That's a 7 in play, 79. And that's not going to do it. It's a ground ball to short. Menke in the hole, long throw, and in time. Just got Amos Otis, who was jetting down the line by half a step. Cleon Jones. Here's the pitch. That's a 7 in play, 0-3, and that's going to be a ball that's ripped into left center field and splits Wynn and Alou around first and hustling into second and thinking about third, and he stops and the throw is into second, but Jones is back. So Cleon Jones with a 1-out double here in the bottom of the 9th. So the Mets have the tying run in scoring position, and next is, you know what? We are going to bring in Garrett. We're going to bring in Wayne Garrett is going to be a pinch hitter, and also we have Ken Boswell. But we're going to bring in Wayne Garrett. Let's find him. Wayne Garrett. Can't even find Wayne Garrett. Where is the guy? Got a lot of cards here from this company, Payoff Pitch. What did we do? Oh, there's Wayne Garrett. He's a left-handed batter versus, he's a left-handed batter. So let's see if we can bring a right-handed batter in there. Somebody, who do we have as a right-handed batter? We have, you know who we have? We have Duffy. That's really who we have, Duffy. We're going to let Ed Charles. Here's the pitch to Ed Charles. It's 1 out. Runner on second base. It's 1-0 Astros. Cleon Jones takes his lead. That's a 9. That's a tough 25 against a lefty. And that's strike 3. Ed Charles chases. And that's a second out. So the Mets are down to their last out. It's Ron Swoboda. Here's a pitch to Ron Swoboda. That's a 4. That's defense. This may be what the doctor ordered. We may get a range. Oh, it's an error second base. Error second base. Joe Morgan. Let's see. Joe Morgan at second base is a 2 error. A 2 error is a 1-58. We roll a 37. So what kind of, let's see how many bases that's going to be. It's going to be a 1 base error. E4 on Joe Morgan. Ground ball to Morgan. Morgan boots it. Oh, no. First and second. Error Joe Morgan. And going to third is Cleon Jones. Wow, it would have been nice for a 2 base error. He would have scored on that. Man, wow. It's too bad. All right. Okay, so it's Jerry Grody against Denny LeMaster. Here in the bottom of the 9th, there's 2 outs, 1-0. The Mets tying run is 90 feet away, and Cleon Jones, Swoboda's on at first. Here's the pitch to Jerry Grody. Jerry Grody's batting .278 with 1 home run and 72 at-bats. Here's the pitch. That's a 7. That's in play. 0-9. And that is line drive, base hit. Game is tied. Jerry Grody comes up huge, and hustling around second and going into third is Ron Swoboda. Jerry Grody, holy smokes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Clutch. And you can hear the crowd in Shea Stadium. Jerry Grody comes up with 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, against Denny LeMaster, who's pitched masterfully throughout the game, allowed only 3 hits to this point, and lines a base hit to drive in the tying run. And the Mets have tied the ball game here in the bottom of the 9th. And they have the winning run at third base. So Jerry Grody came up huge. And now it's Al Weiss. Al Weiss is batting .214. And he batted .211 in reality, actually .220 against a lefty. Denny LeMaster's in there. We're not messing with this. This is too good a game. But you know what? We are going to bring in, let me see if Bud Howson plays in the next game. I just want to make sure he's not injured. Let's see if Buddy Howson can come in there. We can also use somebody else. Harrelson. He does play in the next game. Oh, no, but he's playing in this game. Wait a second. So do we have another second baseman? Let me check real quick. Yeah, we have Wayne Garrett. Perfect. All right, so. All right, there's 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Winning run is at third base for the Amazons. They've tied the ball game up here. Weren't able to score a run in 8 innings, 8 2/3 innings, but with 2 outs, Jerry Grody lined a base hit to tie the ball game. And Denny LeMaster is still in there for the Houston Astros. Al Weiss, it's a switch hitter. He's going to bat righty, but now he's getting called back. He's getting called back by Gil Hodges. And they're going to send out Duffy Dyer. Duffy Dyer is going to pinch hit here. All right, so here goes. Here's the pitch to Duffy Dyer. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Winning run at third base, all tied at 1. Pitch from LeMaster. That's a 6. That's a tough 74. And that's going to be strike 3. Duffy Dyer chases the high heat and goes down on strikes. And we go into extra innings here, folks. Tom Seaver's still in there. Both starting pitchers are still in the ball game, which you can only do in 1969. An Al Red Sox fan got excited there, Brody, with the fans here at Shea Stadium, 1969. I was a few blocks away. All right, so Johnny Edwards up now against Tom Seaver. Well, the game is tied at 1-1 in the top of the 10th inning. Johnny Edwards is batting .247 on the season with 81 at bats. He's got 1 home run. Here's a pitch from Tom Seaver in his 10th inning of work. Love this. That's a defensive call. Oh, goodness. Let's see what happens. Error, possible third base. We roll a 79, and that's outside of error range, and that's lined and caught by the third baseman, Ed Charles. We're going to need a new second baseman. Let's do that. Let's get Wayne Garrett in there to play second base. That's good. And now it's going to be Johnny LeMaster. And we may start seeing a little bit of pinch hitter, but you know what? We're going to let everybody go one more inning just to really, squeeze the juice out of this one. LeMaster's going to bat 6, tough out. Tough out 13, that's strike 3, 2 outs. Joe Morgan. That's a 9. A 9 is a patient 81, and that's hit by pitch. Joe Morgan gets plunked. He's on at first, and Joe Morgan had 49 stolen bases. And we're going to try to get a lead on him at 6 or less. And there goes Morgan. And the throw down. Grody. What was Grody? Grody's, I believe, at 3. A 2. So throw down, and he is safe under the tag. So Grody made a nice throw, but Morgan had a great lead. And now the go-ahead run is at second base on that stolen base by Joe Morgan. He can fly. And it's Norm Miller, left-handed batter, batted .284 against righties. So Seaver better bear down here. Here's the pitch from Seaver. That's a 10. That's ballpark. A 22. That's going to be wheelhouse. And that's a that's a deep drive to right field. And back goes Swoboda to the track, to the wall, against the wall, and makes the catch. Holy smokes. Deep drive by Norm Miller against Tom Seaver. But it didn't have enough. Didn't have enough carry, and Mets are bringing up Tom Seaver now here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Tom Seaver. Can we let Tom Seaver go the 11th inning? Why not? Tom Seaver pushing these guys to the maximum. We need to win this game, so Tom Seaver's going to bat. That's a 5, a tough 40. Tough 40, and he's a 3, and that's strike 3. Seaver strikes out. Next is Tommy Agee, 275 hitter. Here's the pitch to Agee. That's a 7 in play, 53, in play 53. Ground ball, third base, Radar up with it. Long throw, and gets Agee by half a step. 2 outs now, and it's Bud Housen. That's an 11. 11 is Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse 68. And that's lined and caught by the second baseman Morgan, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. So this game is really moving. Tom Seaver in his 11th inning of work against Jimmy Wynn. That's an 11. Wheelhouse 65, and that's a deep drive. Jimmy Wynn gets a hold of one into left center field. Back goes Otis. Agee to the track, to the wall. That's gone. 2-1. Houston Astros. This is the second home run for Jimmy Wynn, and he's basically been responsible for the only 2 runs that the Houston Astros have put on the board today. So Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon, really living up to his nickname. Blafari now. That's a 7 in play, 74. Deep drive, center field, and Agee on the run in the gap and makes the catch. 1 out, excuse me. Menke. So it's 2-1 now. 2-1 Astros here at Shea Stadium. 5. That's a tough out, 53. And That's a ground ball hit at third base. And Charles with the backhand crossed the diamond, throws him out. 2 down. Doug Radar. Radar's batting .220 with 1 home run. Here's the pitch to Radar. 5, tough out, 0-9, strike 3, and that retires the side. So that was, let's take a quick peek and see what, that was Tom Seaver's 6th strikeout of the game. Wow. Mets can't catch a break, man. They can't score a run. That's the real struggle that the Mets are having. Johnny LeMaster here in the bottom of the 11 is going to finish this game out. He's facing Otis. That's a 5. That's a tough 36. A tough 36, and that's strike 3. LeMaster strikes out Otis. That's his 9th strikeout of the game. Next is Cleon Jones. He hit that double. This is a 10 in play, 77. In play 77. That's a fly ball, deep center field, and Wynn on the run, and he runs it down. Great defense by the outfielders in this game. 2 outs now. The Mets are 1 out away from losing another ball game, their 3rd in a row, and falling to 14-14. Here's the pitch to Ed Charles. That's a 9. That's a tough 0-0. We're going to pull a defensive card. That's the way I play that. Error third base, and now we're going to roll. The third baseman is Radar. Let's see what Radar does here. Doug Rader. And Doug Rader is third baseman 2, 1-58. 2 is, 1-58. So we're going to roll. Anything within that is going to be 62. Great play by Radar across the diamond and throws out Charles, and that's the ball game. 5-3 to end the game. And the win is going to go to Johnny LeMaster. He's going to be 4-2. He goes a complete game. This was a great game. Tom Seaver falls to 2-4. The Mets just can't score any runs. I don't know what's going on here. The MVP for the game, according to Replay Baseball, is Denny LeMaster. I mean, he really deserved it. I mean, he pitched a heck of a ball game. 7 hits, 1 run, no errors for the Mets, and 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Astros. What else? So the Astros improved their record. They basically climbed to 500 now, and the Mets fall to 500. They're 14-14, the Mets. And let's look quickly at the box score. For the Mets, it was Cleon Jones with 2 hits and Jerry Grote with 2 hits and that huge clutch RBI in the bottom of the 9th inning to tie the ball game. But it wasn't meant to be. Mets were just not meant to be today. And Tom Seaver, 2-4, 11 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. His ERA is 2.61. Denny LeMaster, 11 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, no earned runs. No walks, 9 strikeouts. Holy smokes. And he lowered his ERA to 3.46. And that's about it. Really, the star of the game was, LeMaster, yeah. But, offensively, it was Jimmy Wynn with the 2 home runs, his 7th and 8th of the season. So that was really what hurt Seaver. Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon. And I think he's pretty much in his prime at this point in his career. I know by the time he gets to the Yankees in the late 70s, he's just, basically in the twilight of his career. So Salvador in the house. And use the chart with numbers 1166 for rare plays. Yes, everybody does it a little bit different on that. I use the defensive chart because I like the range and the error. I like there to be more range and error potential. Doesn't mean there's going to be an error. Doesn't mean there's going to be a range hit, but it could be. I just kind of like to add that in. I'm not crazy. I'm not a big, like a rare play guy. I feel like it kind of slows down the game. But sometimes I do it. Sometimes I feel frisky, and I'll be like, I'm doing rare plays today. And sometimes I'll even be real frisky and do injuries as well. So this is a 45-minute affair. It's a final score of Astros 2, New York Mets 1. And this is the type of game that you're going to get in the 60s and 70s. Pretty quick games. Games play very, very fast with payoff pitch, especially when you kind of focus on making minimal changes. I mean, if you can look at the box scores, there were not a lot of pinch hitters or a lot of pitching changes back then. In 76, the Yanks, only used 2 pinch hitters, two relief pitchers, 90% of the time, Dick Tidrow and Sparky Lau. So this is, CP Cards and Dice saying, telling everybody, hey, thanks for, stopping by. And remember that this is your home for tutorials, strategy, player profiles, history reviews, news, tips, tops, baseball cards, rants, and much, much more. We're waiting for our 1970 Topps baseball set to arrive, and I'll do a little unboxing when I get that. That is a real treasure to get a hold of. And I'm lucky I was able to get it. And this is CP Cards and Dice saying thanks for stopping by. Take care, guys. Payoff pitch.